Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, I hope you're as excited as I am because the NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this one is no different. Imagine the 49ers, a team that's been knocking on the Super Bowl door for quite some time now, making a move that could potentially shift the entire landscape of their receiver core. No, I'm not talking about just another free agent signing. I'm talking about someone who's got a story of resilience, of coming back from adversity, and who could really give the 49ers a much-needed boost, Michael Thomas. Yes, you heard it right, Michael Thomas, the former New Orleans Saint, is reportedly signing with San Francisco, and this could be a game-changer for multiple reasons. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Michael Thomas, isn't he already nearing the end of his career? Hasn't he struggled with injuries and inconsistent production over the last few seasons? Well, yes, but if there's one thing we've learned about Thomas over the years, it's that when he's healthy, he's one of the most reliable and talented wide receivers in the league. His time in New Orleans was marked by incredible highs, 4 straight 1-0-yard seasons from 2016 to 2019, including that phenomenal 2019 campaign when he caught 149 passes for nearly 700 yards. That's elite production, folks. But then, injuries started to take their toll, especially between 2020 and 2022, which hampered his ability to perform at that high level. Most recently, in 2023, Thomas played just a handful of games, finishing with 448 yards and a single touchdown, not quite the production he was known for. That was partly due to injuries, but also because he was coming off a couple of tough seasons that saw him miss time and struggle to find his groove. And then, last year, he was released by the Saints, which left him in limbo for the 2024 season. That year off, well, it might have been exactly what he needed to rest, recover, and get back to full health. And now, with the 49ers, he has a real shot at re-establishing himself, especially in a system that's known for its quarterback-friendly schemes and offensive creativity. But here's the thing, why would the 49ers, a team with a pretty solid receiver room, go after Michael Thomas? Well, for starters, the 49ers have faced some challenges at the wide receiver position this offseason. Brandon Ayuk, who is expected to be a major piece for the team, is working his way back from a torn ACL and MCL injury. The team is already planning for him to miss the first 4 games of the season. That's a significant loss for San Francisco, especially considering how important Ayuk has become as a playmaker and a target for quarterback Brock Purdy. In addition, Ricky Pearsall, another key receiver, is currently on the physically unable to perform list, which means he's not available to start training camp. Adding to that, Joan Jennings, another receiver who has been a versatile and dependable presence, is looking for a new contract or perhaps a trade if the team doesn't plan to extend him. The 49ers are in a bit of a tricky spot, trying to balance youth, depth, and experience, all while managing injuries and contract negotiations. It's clear that they need some veteran presence, someone who can step in immediately and provide stability in the passing game. And that's exactly where Michael Thomas could come into play. The beauty of signing a veteran like Thomas is that he can serve as a reliable safety net, a guy who can step up in critical moments and provide some reassurance to Brock Purdy and the coaching staff. Even if Thomas isn't the same player he was in 2019, his knowledge of the game, his route-running ability, and his hands can still be valuable assets. Plus, with his familiarity with the West Coast offense from his time in New Orleans, he could slot right into the system and start making an impact almost immediately. And let's not forget, this isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's about the bigger picture, about the potential for Thomas to rediscover his form and help the 49ers make another deep playoff run. The team's offense has been consistently strong, but they've lacked a certain explosive element at times, especially when injuries have depleted their depth. Thomas, if healthy, could serve as that veteran target who can make contested catches, pick up yards after the catch, and provide that veteran leadership that every championship-caliber team needs. Now, I want to touch on the fact that Thomas, being from California, has a homecoming vibe to this move. Returning to play in his home state, close to his roots, might be just what he needs to finish his career on a high note. It's a story of resilience, of overcoming setbacks, and of finding that renewed passion to compete at the highest level. For the 49ers, it's a low-risk, potentially high-reward move. They're not breaking the bank for him, and they're not putting all their chips on one guy. It's about adding depth, experience, and a bit of that veteran savvy that can be crucial when the season gets tough. Of course, there are questions. Will Thomas be able to stay healthy enough to contribute consistently? Can he re-establish himself as a reliable target for Brock Purdy? And how does this move influence the dynamic within the receiver room, especially with Ayuk and Pearsall fighting their own battles to be ready for Week 1? All valid concerns, but the potential upside is too big to ignore. The 49ers have always been a team that values versatility and grit, and Michael Thomas fits that mold perfectly. His ability to make tough catches and his understanding of defensive coverages could prove invaluable during the season. If he can stay healthy, he could be a secret weapon, especially in critical moments or red zone situations. And with the team's focus on winning now, adding a player with Thomas's pedigree, even if he's not in his prime anymore, might just tip the scales in their favor. The NFC West is shaping up to be as competitive as ever. The Seahawks are loaded, the Rams are rebuilding, and the Cardinals are still trying to find their footing. For the 49ers, maintaining their dominance and securing a high playoff seed is essential, and adding a player like Thomas could give them that extra edge. It's about creating a versatile, unpredictable offense that keeps defenses guessing, and Thomas's presence might be just the spark they need. And let's not forget the broader context. The 49ers have a rich history of finding diamonds in the rough, of turning seasoned veterans into key contributors late in their careers. Think about how players like Emmanuel Sanders or even older players like Anquan Boldin have contributed to their Super Bowl runs. Thomas, with the right health and timing, could easily follow that same script. It's about making smart, strategic moves, and this signing could be one of those moves that go under the radar but pay huge dividends when it counts. The season is still a few months away, but the anticipation is already building. Fans are eager to see how the 49ers receiver room shapes up, especially with the uncertainty surrounding Ayuk and Pearsall. The addition of Michael Thomas could provide that much-needed stability and veteran leadership, a guy who understands what it takes to win at the highest level. And for Thomas himself, it's a chance to come back to California, to play in front of his home crowd, and maybe, just maybe, to write a new chapter in his NFL story, one that ends with him helping the 49ers chase another Super Bowl. So, what do you think about this move? Do you believe Michael Thomas can still be a difference maker for the 49ers? How do you see his role fitting into the team's offensive scheme? Will he stay healthy enough to make an impact? These are the questions on everyone's mind right now, and the upcoming weeks will be crucial to see how this story unfolds. One thing is for sure, the 49ers are making bold moves, and they're doing everything they can to stay on top of the NFC West and make another serious push for that Lombardi trophy. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Michael Thomas signing with the team? Do you see him as a key piece for this upcoming season? Or do you think injury concerns still overshadow his potential contribution? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. This team is always evolving, always pushing forward, and with moves like this, the 49ers are showing they're serious about contending for another Super Bowl. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay passionate, stay loyal, and go Niners.